Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to my review for Evil Dead, which of course is the remake of Sam Raimi's cult classic, The Evil Dead. They just got rid of the. And I was really looking forward to this because, first of all, I love Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and of course Army of Darkness. I love all three of them. And hell, the last horror comedy movie that Sam Raimi did, Drag Me to Hell, love that film. It was a very, very funny, very, even kind of creepy at times, but hilarious and goofy type horror film. It was very Evil Dead-ish, and I could not wait to see another Evil Dead movie. This one's a little different because it's more serious. It's not directed by Sam Raimi. It's produced, but it still has an Evil Dead feeling, even from the trailer. When I saw the trailer, I was like, that feels like Evil Dead. Maybe not as Evil Dead-ish, but, maybe closer to the first film, which was, goofy, but not as goofy. It was still more serious than Evil Dead 2, and definitely Army of Darkness. So I was looking forward to this film. I really was. But what did I think of it? Well, let's talk about the story. The story for The Evil Dead, in a way, is very similar to the original movie, where you have a bunch of young adults, they go to a cabin, a bunch of weird stuff happens. They find a book called the Necronomicon, which is the Book of the Dead. One character starts reading it. A bunch of weird stuff happens. Demons, blood, gore everywhere. Just blood everywhere. Except in the original, it was a bunch of young adults going to a cabin, just in the woods, because that's what you do, and they were having a vacation there, just partying and having fun. In this one, it's a little different. It's way more serious than that one. They're not having parties or whatnot. They went there because a character named Mia, played by Jane Levy, is a serious drug user, and they wanted to take her there to get her away from all the drugs and, try to help her out, make sure she doesn't overdose again, because it's revealed in the plot she overdosed. And her brother's there, played by Shiloh Fernandez, and he's trying to, make sure that she stays away from drugs with the help of some of his friends. So far, way more serious than, hey, let's party, have sex, drink, do drugs. It's a little bit more serious, but later on in the film, it definitely becomes an Evil Dead film when, of course, one character finds the Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead, which they don't even call it in that. They just find a book. They call it the book. Wrapped in barbed wire. It looks like it's made out of human skin. Yeah, it says a bunch of stuff like, don't read this book. You know what? We should read this book. And of course one character does, and a bunch of weird stuff happens. I don't think I need to explain what happens next. One girl gets possessed, I won't spoil who it is, and of course a bunch of Deadites pop up. I don't even want to spoil it. If you know what Evil Dead is, you know what's going to happen. A bunch of gore, a bunch of blood, people die, people come back and die again. It's Evil Dead, definitely. And when that book pops up, it becomes an Evil Dead film, and it is fun as hell. Even though there is some slow moments, especially in the beginning. Ooh boy, when the blood rises, everybody's dying, it is fun. It is so much fun. Well, the movie definitely has a lot of problems. The writing isn't that great. Hell, even the acting isn't amazing. Definitely not. It's not even really good. But even though it has problems, it's one of my favorite theater experiences I've ever had, because I went to go see this yesterday at 10 o'clock. Jam-packed theater. Like, I got there early, so I found a seat pretty easily, but then a lot of people started coming in, like flocks and flocks, and it was so much fun. But like, listening to people are like, oh, don't do that, oh, you're stupid, oh, blood everywhere. And I'm here sitting there going, I get that reference, I get this reference, I get that reference. I mean, they reference a lot of stuff in here, and what I like is that it's not in your face, like, oh, look at these references. And what I also liked is that the theater didn't just erupt in applause like, bravo, you showed a shotgun. Really weren't in your face, just like, oh, look at that, look at that. There is even one that is so cleverly hidden in there. I got it. Like, there's a scene where someone starts getting ready, just like Ash does in Evil Dead 2, where, he gets his chainsaw arm on, he's like setting things up and stuff, about to whip some Deadeye ass, and then he goes, groovy. There's a scene just like that, except it's not as awesome. Of course, there's no groovy line in there at all, but it is awesome that the director, Fede Alvarez, put stuff like that in there, where it's not like, oh, look at this, look, oh, Evil Dead. Reference, it didn't do that, and I love that. And let me just tell you this, the acting isn't great. Shiloh Fernandez is very weak. Jane Levy's alright in the film. One guy I really like, though, is Lou Taylor Pucci? I don't know how to pronounce his name. But he's pretty much a long-haired, nerdy-looking dude that actually reads from the book. He's the dumb one, but he's actually very entertaining in the film. I actually really liked him. Who he reminded me of was the stoner character in Cabin in the Woods from last year. He actually reminded me a lot of him for some reason. Even though he's not always comedic, he's definitely serious for a lot of the times. There's a lot of scenes where he made me laugh, and I really liked him in this film. For the most part, the rest of the acting's not that great. Whenever someone has to become a Deadite, they did an amazing job. Like, they do a great job of like emoting and making themselves look freaking crazy. I'll give them that. But besides that, yeah, not amazing acting, definitely not. Of course, the reason why you could go see this film, even if you are a huge fan of Evil Dead, you just go see it because it's Evil Dead, the real reason you're coming to see this film is because you want to see a lot of blood, maybe some scares too, but not me. I just want to see a lot of gore, and holy crap, there is some really inventive and amazing looking death scenes in this movie, and not even really death scenes. There's a lot of parts where people just carve their face off, or you just see people plucking nails and stuff out of their face. And I mean, it's not death scenes; they're not dead yet. But it's amazing to see. I mean, the practical effects are just so elaborate. When this comes out on DVD and it comes out on Blu-ray, and that unedited version comes out, I'm gonna pause it just to see. Oh, that's gross. Oh, that's cool. Like, I just want to pause on some of those gore scenes because it's so just so. What's the word I'm looking for? Articulate? Yeah, I guess so. And it's just really well done. It's very bloody, very just disgusting to look at, and there's a lot of scenes like that. There's a scene at the end with a chainsaw and someone getting split in half, and blood everywhere. It's raining blood at the end of the film, and I thought it was awesome. Awesome. So if you're coming to see this for blood, you're definitely going to be happy because there's a lot of disgusting stuff in this film, and I have to admit, it did scare me a couple times. Not really scare me like, oh, I'm freaked out, can't sleep tonight. But, you know, more jump scares and more disturbing stuff. You know, when you look at something like that, you're like, oh, that's disturbing. I might have a little hard time sleeping, but not like, oh, I'm so freaked out, girl. Like, this isn't, I don't know, Sinister, where I was like, oh my god, I'm freaking scared as hell. I'm so disturbed. But it definitely has its moments like that. So overall, I think Evil Dead was a great, great horror film. It has some problems, some writing problems. It's not always funny, but and it also has some very slow parts, like in the beginning. Mostly in the beginning, it's very slow. The plot itself and the characters aren't really all that likable. There's no Bruce Campbell in the film, sadly. Or is there? There's no Bruce Campbell in the film, but you know what? It's still a lot of fun either way. I definitely recommend this film. There are some problems, but I overall enjoyed it wholeheartedly. So I'm going to give it a 33 out of a 40. Definitely go check it out. Thank you, and goodbye.